So, I got news for y'all. I'm going to be subbing in as a replacement coach in the minor leagues of the Pokemon World Championships. This is a new draft league server that I got invited to join as a substitute coach. Shout out to Tranel for inviting me to join this server. So, I originally got invited to join this server just to be a replacement coach, a substitute coach, in case someone had to quit or couldn't finish their games, whatever. And it turns out after the first week of the season that some German dude just decided to quit the entire league, and they had no one to replace his team. So I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna take over his team and finish the rest of the season. So yeah, in this video, I'm gonna be going over my team that I'm gonna be using this season in the Pokemon World Championships. We are starting off with an 0-1 record, which is fine. It's just going to give us a little handicap. But yeah, I am going to preface this video just by saying that I did not draft this team myself. Like I said, I am taking over this team after 1 week, so I didn't choose these mons. I do think the team is very good, though, don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to go over the team that they picked, what I think of it, and then at the very end, I'm going to go over some transactions that I made to change the team up to more to my liking. So let's just get right into it here. So new draft league, new season over here on the channel. Um, again, I don't know what order any of these mons were picked in, but I'm just going to go over them in order of significance. So this first mon here is Whimsicott. Now, there's a rule in this league that I've never played with before, but it's a special rule, and Whimsicott is going to serve as our signature mon, our signature Pokemon. Every team in this league gets one signature Pokemon. Your signature Pokemon must be a B tier or below Pokemon, okay? And you must bring it every single week, okay? So Whimsicott has to come to every single battle every single week that I play because it's my signature Pokemon. Now I am allowed to change my signature Pokemon once per season, um, but my signature Pokemon, it has to be B tier or below, and it can't be Mega, and it has to come every single week. So the signature Pokemon that we get is Whimsicott, and originally I was like not too thrilled about it, but thinking about it more, I really like the value that Whimsicott provides to the team with Prankster. Prankster is a great ability. I can just spam moves like Defog, Encore, Stun Spore, even Memento can be great for setting up opportunities for other members of my team. And it's just a really solid pivot overall. Like even though it's not super bulky, you can see like its stats are very mediocre. Um, but it can serve as a good pivot, and it's not going to do anything like exceptional every week, but I think every week it's just going to be like a nice pivot to have on my team that I can use to switch around things. I can go out, send out prankster moves to support my team, which I really like. And I think it provides good value. I really do. As a signature mon with prankster, I think it provides a really good value. So we're gonna say Whimsicott every single week, and I think it'll be nice. I really do. Um, so let's hop right into number two. Our S tier, our main S tier is gonna be Dragopol. Now I am very excited to use Dragopol. Some people say, I've heard people say Dragopol is like one of the best mons in draft format. It's like the best offensive Pokemon. Obviously, it's brand new in Generation 8, right? And I've never used it before. I'm really excited to use it. Um, you can see here its speed stat is through the roof. Base 142 is fantastic. I can outspeed so many entire teams with that stat, and a lot of times I can get away with running like a modest or an adamant nature, and I don't even have to run a plus speed nature in order to outspeed everything, which I love. That's part of what makes Dragapult so good in draft league format. And you can see its attack stat and special attack stat are both good. They're both usable, making it a versatile offensive threat. And Dragon and Ghost is also just like incredible typing, right? Really hard to switch into Dragon and Ghost type moves. And lastly, it gets three really good abilities in my opinion in Clear Body, Infiltrator, and Cursed Body. Clear Body is great. It makes it immune to stuff like Sticky Web, Intimidate, even like Mystical Fire, stuff like that. None of my stats can get lowered, which is great. Infiltrator is cool for hitting behind stuff like Light Screen and Reflect. It ignores those. Aurora Veil. It also ignores Substitute. So I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is really nice. And Curse Body can also just come in handy. It's kind of like a free disable on a 30% chance. So I think all these abilities are really good with Dragapult. And obviously, like, its stats are very diverse, and it has a great move pool too. Like, I can do so many things with it on the physical offensive side and the special offensive side, right? It gets fire moves, obviously Ghost and Dragon moves, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, U-turn, Scald, which is great. I didn't even know it got Scald, actually. I'm just learning that now. Wow. Yeah, Sucker Punch, so. And of course, you can run like with Sub, Will-O-Wisp with like Hex and stuff like that, so. Dragon Dance, it's just a fantastic Pokemon. I'm really excited to use this thing. It's probably going to come almost every single week. And yeah, I'm really glad that we got handed Dragapult on this team. I really am. It's on the team mascot logo, by the way. Oh, I didn't mention our team name is the Cologne 1945. That's just the team name that we had like on this team before I took it over. I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. I actually had to look up what like Cologne 1945 meant, and I guess there was a battle in World War II where this German city of Cologne got bombed like a shit ton of times, and Dragapult is on the cover, so that's cool, right? So we got the team mascot here. The team mascot here is great. I'm really excited to use Dragapult. It's a fantastic mon. And next up, we got our Mega. Our other S tier pick is going to be Mega Mawile. Now, Mega Mawile alongside Dragapult is insane. This Pokemon by itself has no switch-ins, right? With the huge power ability, it basically doubles our attack stat. So base 105 attack might not look like much, but when we can invest max attack and then double that, we basically have 600 attack off rip. Like, just like straight up 600 attack. It's like I hold a choice band, except like I don't. It's insane. And this Pokemon is just really strong. On top of that, I can Swords Dance, and my attack stat can go through the roof. So Play Rough, Iron Head, really hard to switch into. Fire Fang is great to hit steel types. Obviously, I can just spam knockoff. Ice Punch, it gets good coverage moves too. Like you can see Fire Fang, Ice Punch, knockoff. It also gets Sucker Punch, which is excellent priority because its speed stat is kind of low. That's the one thing that holds this thing back, is its speed stat is a little bit low, but it's an insane wall breaker, right? Especially if I can get up a Swords Dance. It's ridiculous, and it has great natural bulk with base 125 defense. Like even though base 50 HP is low, we can usually invest and live a lot of physical hits with natural defensive bulk. So I think Mega Mawile is like straight up one of the best megas. Um, and it's going to be insane alongside Dragapult. Like teams aren't going to be able to switch in these two Pokemon. Like I can guarantee it already. So I think our two S tiers are amazing. Now, next up, we got our A tiers. We have three A tiers. First one's going to be Rotom Heat. Um, I love Rotom Heat. It's great. Actually, if you've been following along in our current draft league series in FPE, I've got a Rotom Heat on my team, and I love it. It's like so reliable. It's like the most reliable pivot you could ask for, really. Um, and it's a really good pivot alongside Whimsicott. Um, being a fire electric type, Whimsicott being like grass type. Um, they complement each other very well, and they can U-turn and Volt Switch around each other. And like you guys know what Rotom Heat does if you watch my videos. Like it's super versatile. It has respectable bulk on both sides, and we can just Volt Switch, Overheat. Will-O-Wisp is great for burning stuff, but a lot of times I like to just run Toxic or Thunder Wave, and Pain Split for recovery is fantastic. With Levitate, it's immune to ground. Rotom Heat is just fantastic. We can even run offensive if we want with Choice Scarf or Nasty Plot. So like we have a ton of options here, and of course a reliable defogger. So our two main pivots on our team are both reliable defoggers between Whimsicott and Rotom Heat. So I really like that hazard control. And yeah, I really like Rotom Heat just like on its own, and I think it fits really well with the signature mon Whimsicott. So that's just fantastic. Love to see the Rotom Heat here. Next up as our A tier, we have Scizor. Scizor is really cool. I like Scizor a lot. A lot of times we just run Technician because it gets Bullet Punch. This is like probably the best move that Scizor gets because it's priority and it's technician boosted, and it's coming off base 130 attack. So Scizor is really good. I've never actually used Scizor in Draft League format. I've hardly used it at all, really, but I think it's a really cool Pokemon. Priority Bullet Punch is amazing, especially if we get Swords Dances up. We can Swords Dance up, Bullet Punch will hurt, and then of course like Knockoff, Bug Bite. We can also just U-turn out. U-turn is great for getting momentum. So we have a nice U-turn Volt Switch core between Scizor and Rotom Heat. I really like that a lot because Rotom Heat can take the fire type moves that Scizor does not like. Scizor's only real main weakness is fire, being 4 times weak to fire as a bug and steel type. So Rotom Heat covers that nicely. Um, and yeah, Swords Dance Scizor can be insane with Bullet Punch. Moves like Knockoff and Superpower as coverage. It also gets Roost, so we can heal up, which is great. We can run more of a bulky Scizor if we so choose to with Roost. And I'm pretty sure this thing also gets Defog, so we have plenty of Defoggers to keep hazards off our side of the field. I really like Scizor. It even gets Agility if I want to feel crazy and set up agilities. Curse, I can get creative with it. I really can. So yeah, Scizor is really just like an physically offensive threat. It can set up in multiple ways, Swords Dance being the main one, and Bullet Punch as priority is really good. This is one of the best priority moves in the game because it's boosted by Technician. It's effectively 60 base power because of Technician, so Bullet Punch is really strong. And I like Scizor a lot. I think it's going to help the team out really well. We do have 2 Steel types, though, right off the bat, which luckily we can cover with some stuff later in our draft, but I think it'll work out fine in the end. So next up, we have a third A tier, and our third A tier is gonna be Dugtrio. Now, Dugtrio is kind of an interesting Pokemon. The main reason why people run Dugtrio is Arena Trap. Arena Trap just prevents the ally, or not the ally, the opponent from switching out as long as they are not airborne. So, like, as long as they're not a flying type or they're not a Pokemon with Levitate, when Dugtrio is on the field, the opponent cannot switch. So Dugtrio just kind of like traps things and revenge kills them. You can see its stats are kind of lackluster. Base 100 attack is like alright. Base 120 speed is really good though, surprisingly fast, but it's extremely frail. Base 35 HP, so like it dies to like so many things. But like really, we're just gonna be trapping stuff and killing stuff with Earthquake. Where's Earthquake? And yeah, it gets some other moves like Stone Edge. We might run Reversal, Focus Sash. Sucker Punch is cool, and it gets Stealth Rock, so I can set that up too. But Dugtrio's main gimmick is that it traps stuff, prevents things from switching out. But um, we have to use it alongside our U-turn and Volt Switch core to get momentum, to get Dugtrio in, because it can't switch into attacks on its own. It's extremely frail, and yeah. But being able to trap stuff can be really cool. So I think Dugtrio is cool here. So moving on, we're going down to our B tiers, I think. And first up, we have Araquinid. I think Araquinid is actually pretty cool. It's a water bug type, so this is going to be our water type for the team to complement our fire and grass pivots. And I really like the way Araquinid fits here. Gives us a ground resist as well with the bug typing, so that helps us out a lot. And it's really bulky. You can see like base 132 special defense is like insane. Slow speed, so like a lot of times we'll just run like max HP and respectable defense as well. So this thing is very bulky, and like the main thing that makes Araquinid so good is its ability Water Bubble. This is like honestly one of the best abilities in the game. It's unique to only Araquinid though. So this Pokemon's water power is 2 times, which means that water type moves do double damage, like off rip. So like with base 70 attack, it's not that strong, but like if we run max attack, like that's like effectively like over 500 attack, and like liquidation will hurt because of water bubble. And then on top of water bubble doubling water type moves, it also makes it immune to burn. Like it just can't be burned. So Araquanid is basically the ultimate Scald switch in with like natural special defense. It resists Scald with water type, and I don't have to worry about being burned. So Araquanid can always switch into Scald, Will-O-Wisp, won't be burned, and firepower is halved against it. So, if you look at the types, water and bug, it normally means, Araquinid would be neutral to fire type attacks, because, bug is weak to fire, water resists fire, but with the compounding effect of water bubble, Araquinid is effectively a fire resist because firepower against it is halved. So water bubble is insane because it's like three abilities combined into one. So it makes Arachnid just a really good water type all around. And liquidations are gonna hurt coming off this thing. And the other thing that I really like about it, the main thing that I really like about it alongside that is it gets sticky web. Sticky web is great. I love playing with sticky web. It's like one of the best hazards in the game, and I really like it for draft format too. You set it up, and when people switch in, as long as they're grounded, their speed is lowered by one stage. So Sticky Web is great for Dragopol. I mean, Dragopol's already insanely fast, but like with Sticky Web support, I really don't have to worry about much outspeeding Dragopol, and it's also insane for Megamall. Megamall is naturally really slow, but if we get the Sticky Web up, Megamall can start outspeeding things and just killing them. So I really like that. Even Scizor too really likes Sticky Web support. So Sticky Web support on this team is going to be insane. I really like the Araquinid here. So yeah, that's pretty much what it does. It gets some other coverage moves, and but yeah, the main things that it likes to do is just fire off strong liquidations, set up Sticky Web, and just it's a good water type overall. So I'm really excited to use that. Next up, in B tier, we've got Meloetta. Meloetta is an interesting Pokemon. So its stats are really good actually. It has good HP and really good special defense, like already, and really strong special attack. And it gets a lot of good coverage moves. A lot of people forget this Pokemon exists. I kind of forgot this Pokemon existed too. I don't even remember like what it's from. I know it's from Gen 5, but like I have no idea like how to get it, or if it's like a mystery gift Pokemon or something. I have no idea. An event Pokemon, but it gets good moves like Hyper. It's a normal Psychic type, right? So that's like kind of weird typing, but it's immune to Ghost. So like normally, Psychic types are weak to Ghost, but the normal type makes it immune to Ghost. So it actually helps Dragapult a lot deal with like opposing Ghost types. Um, you know, and yeah, Hyper Voice, Psychic, Psyshock. We got Shadow Ball, we got Thunderbolt, and a lot of good special attacks. Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast. So that's a lot there. And then Calm Mind. Calm Mind is great because it boosts these like already strong, stats even more. So like I like what Meloetta does here as a psychic type. It's just like got a good offensive presence to it. Now, the other thing that Meloetta does is it has a Purette form. Um, I don't have it pulled up here. So the other main thing that Meloetta does is it's a little bit gimmicky, but it gets a signature move called the Relic Song. Um, it doesn't say here because it's technically illegal, but I think it's like just a special normal type attack that has like weak power. But what it does is it transforms Meloetta's form after it uses it into this Purette form. Um, and once Meloetta changes forms, its stats, change drastically. It becomes a physical attacker with insane speed. So before, 90 speed is like, all right, it's respectable, but it's more of like a bulky special attacker. We click Relic Song. Now Meloetta becomes a fast physical attacker. So it's kind of like a gimmick, but like we get close combat, I don't know what other normal type moves it gets, because I think Return is gone, but like all we really need is close combat, like Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Knock Off. Like you can see the moves that it gets here: Shadow Claw, Stone Edge, right, and U-Turn. So Trick is cool too. Like so you might just see us bringing Purette Meloetta some weeks with Relic Song. But we also might stick to just running regular Meloetta and trashing the Relic Song and just going for like a bunch of special attacks like Hyper Voice and Psychic, and we might run Calm Mind if we really want to, or we can do a lot of different things with it. So we could do this, or we could take the Relic Song route, and then we can go Purette form if we really want to. So Meloetta is very versatile in what it does. It's a threatening Pokemon, and I think it makes it really hard to prepare for too. Another thing I want to note is this Purette Meloetta form is going to be even better with Sticky Web support. So that's just a thing. But yeah, Meloetta, interesting Pokemon. Hard to prepare for because it has basically two forms. It's like two Pokemon in one. The only thing is I have to kind of waste a turn going for Relic Song to get the Purette form off. But it's kind of like just like an insane setup move, you know. But anyway, so our next B tier or our final B tier is going to be Galarian Moltres here. This is going to give us a Dark type and a Flying type. Our team really needed a Dark type. I'm glad we have this bulky Dark type here because to support Dragopol. Um, you know, we've got Galarian Moltres here to take some of the Ghost type and Dark type attacks. And I like this Pokemon. It doesn't really get a lot of love. I feel like it's out of the Galarian birds that just came out, I feel like this one is like kind of underwhelming, but I think we can make it work. Honestly, like a really good special defense. We've got nice natural special defense on this thing and good special attack, and it gets Berserk, which is a cool ability. So when its special attack or when its HP goes below half, we get a special attack boost, which is cool. And we can combine that with like Rest. Unfortunately, it doesn't get Roost. I really wish this thing got Roost. If this thing got Roost, it'd be really good. It'd be like top tier, but it doesn't. Anyway, not a ton of coverage moves either. Like a unique Dark type move in Fiery Wrath. It's just 10 base power stronger than Dark Pulse. Does the same thing, 20% chance to flinch. So it's like we get a stronger Dark Pulse. We can run Air Slash or Hurricane, and then maybe like Ancient Power, Hex, whatever. But it gets U-Turn, it gets Taunt, Nasty Plot, and Agility are two really good setup moves as well. Agility doubling its speed, along with Berserk. So this thing has sweeping potential if we can pull it off. But mainly, like, it's just a nice bulky Dark type. It doesn't have a ton of coverage moves, but like it doesn't necessarily need it in my opinion. It still can be useful. So I think we can make use of Galarian Moltres, hopefully. Um, so heading towards the end here, I think we're going into C tier or D tier. Actually, that might have been C tier. I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. We got Claydol. I don't know what tier it's in. Claydol is here. It's gonna be a ground type for the team. And we have Dugtrio, but Dugtrio is like super frail. Claydol is more of like a bulky ground type, which I think is good. We needed that. Stealth Rock support, which is great. The other thing that I really like is it gives our team rapid spin support. We have a ton of defoggers, like I mentioned earlier, like Whimsicott, Rotom, Scizor. They're all defoggers, but having rapid spin support is really nice, especially if we set up Sticky Web. So I really like the hazard control on this team. I think that's great. And Claydol is just nice. It's got good, well-rounded defenses on the physical and special side. Respectable speed too for a defensive Pokemon, and it has good moves to boast it up. Obviously Earthquake, Earth Power, Psychic, Psyshock, whatever, but like coverage moves and Dazzling Gleam, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Rock Slide, Scorching Sands is also cool for potential burn, and yeah, just like being able to teleport is really nice to get momentum. Toxic, obviously. Trick. We've got a lot of Trick Pokemon on this team. I like having Trick. And yeah, so Claydol's just here to support the team, give us hazard control. We've got coverage moves. Light Screen, Reflect, obviously, worth mentioning. Magic Coat. So yeah, I like Claydol here. Nice supporting ground type for the team. So rounding out towards the end, I think this is the last pick. Yeah, this is the last Mon. We've got Pyukumuku. This is the last Mon on the team. We've got the Pyukumuku. This is a weird one, People might not realize what this Pokemon is or what it does. First of all, it's a sea cucumber, not a turd. Um, it's a sea cucumber. Second of all, it's very good defensively. Base 55 HP is not much, but we're always going to run max HP every single time, and base 130 defenses are really good. This thing is very bulky. Now, the main thing that the main thing that Pyukumuku has, like the gimmick that it does is it doesn't learn a ton of moves, and none of its moves are attacking moves. Pyukumuku does not learn a single attacking move. It only learns support moves. This thing is the biggest taunt bait because no matter what set Pyukumuku runs, you can just taunt it and then it's useless. So that's cool. But that being said, it gets good. It can do a good job of supporting the team. Obviously, like insanely bulky, so we can live hits for days. We've got Pain Split and Recover too, so we can stay healthy. But Taunt Pass for keeping momentum up and switching out. Light Screen, Reflect, Toxic, Taunt. Like what more could you ask for? Memento is cool too for getting switches. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not many of these moves are super useful. Oh, Counter and Mirror Coat are cool though. We can use those are technically attacking moves, I guess. So Pyukumuku can do damage with Counter and Mirror Coat. If we take a hit, it sends it back. So you know, Pyukumuku can do something. It's just it's look, it's a low tier, but like it's a nice bulky water type. Like alongside Araquinid, I think this thing can be really good. It gets a unique ability with innards out. So when this Pokemon gets knocked out, the opponent loses HP equal to that amount of HP that Pyukumuku took, I think. So like it's kind of like Aftermath or like Rocky Helmet, I guess, when Pyukumuku faints, which is cool. But it also gets Unaware, which is a really good ability, especially for the fact that like this thing has zero offensive presence. Like it ignores opponent's boosts, which is really good. So Unaware is a really nice ability on Pyukumuku. And yeah, I think this is a cool meme Pokemon. It's a sea cucumber. We'll probably bring it, hopefully at least a few times, and hopefully it's useful. So that's the team. That rounds up the team that we were handed. I came in and I was like, yeah, I'll fill in this team. And then I was handed this team. They were like, this is your team. And then they were like, do you want to change stuff? And I was like, kinda. So I did make one free agency transaction now. Um, so as of right now, when I'm recording this, it is supposed to be week 4 in the season, but the person that I'm filling in for quit after week 1. So I'm going to be making up week 2 and week 3 with this team that was handed to me. I'm not allowed to change anything for week 2 and week 3, but once we get to our week 4 battle, we're going to have one new Pokemon. So I made one free agency transaction, and that is going to be I'm going to drop Dugtrio out of A tier, and I'm going to grab Terrakion. So the reason why I do this is because like I think Dugtrio is cool, I really do, but like I also think it sucks, and it's kind of just like a gimmick. And sure, Arena Trap is cool, but I think it's bad in Draft League format. I really do, and it's not very strong. So I think Dugtrio is bad. I want to get rid of Dugtrio, and I want more of an offensive threat out my A tier. And this team did not have a fighting type. Like Meloetta Pierrette, sure, but like that doesn't really count because like I have to waste a turn going for Relic Song, and I don't really think that counts. So I want some immediate power, um, and I think the fighting type. Oh, so we get Terrakion. This is Terrakion. So we also didn't have a rock type. So this team didn't have a rock or a fighting type. I drop Dugtrio. I get Terrakion. Um, base 129 attack is insanely strong, and 108 speed is great, especially with sticky web support. Respectable bulk with 90, 90, 90 in the HP and defenses. And this thing, doesn't have a ton of versatility. Like, you kind of just click buttons with it. Um, got some coverage moves and Earthquake, Mega Horn, Iron Head, Poison Jab. Sacred Sword might be cool, And then we got stuff like Stealth Rock. We get another Stealth Rock support, Taunt, Toxic, whatever. This thing, kind of does the same thing each time, but I think the strong offensive fighting type is going to complement Dragopol really, really well as Megamall, helping this team deal with steel types a lot. Bulky steel types could be really annoying for this team to deal with. So I think the addition of Terrakion really helps us with that, and it just gives us an immediate offensive threat, a pure fighting type that can just throw out strong close combats no matter what set I run. I really like Terrakion a lot, and Justified means that if I get hit by a dark type attack, I get an attack boost. So we resist dark type moves, so it just gives us another dark type switch in, which is great. because we have a Dragopol on our team. So Terrakion is great. I'm really excited to use it. So that is the team that we have now. That is going to be the Cologne 1945 team in the Pokemon World Championships. I hope you guys follow along for the rest of the season. Don't worry, because if you're still following along right now, I am going to finish FPE. FPE is at the end of the season right now, and we've been gearing up for playoffs. So playoffs are starting very soon, and my opponent in FPE actually forfeited for week 8. So that's why I didn't upload a week 8 for FPE, but FPE is starting playoffs, and now we've got a new league starting with Pokemon World Championships. So good stuff all around. I hope you guys like the team and follow along with my Pokemon World Championships videos. Going to be similar format to FPE, so that's about it for me. Yeah, that's it. Watch them. Stay tuned. They're